Hi everyone, I'm Bhagya Senanaga from Group-B7. We are here today to present a brief analytical demonstration of one of the demand forecasting techniques applied to predict the future online food delivery sales of tea launch by Dilma. Demand forecasting is the art of predicting the level of demand which might occur at some future point or period of time. So to elaborate more on the theoretical context of demand forecasting, let me use Starbucks, the world's largest coffeehouse chains, as an example that extensively uses analytics for diverse areas such as store location planning, identify individual buyer needs, and thereby offer personalized promotions, introduce dynamic menus, and enhance in-store experience by better managing staff. Demand forecasting, as highlighted by Lasek et al., is one of the most important inputs for a successful restaurant's revenue management system, as it helps to manage operations, inventory, take decisions on menu offering, labor scheduling, and etc. Even in general context, demand forecasting helps to achieve desired output and minimize risk. As shown in the slide, there are diverse types and methods for demand forecasting, out of which we will be only focusing on regression analysis. Regression analysis involves statistical methods used to estimate the relationship between a dependent variable and one or more independent variables. There are two main types of regression analysis out of many other, linear and nonlinear. The nonlinear relationship is depicted in a curved line, while the linear denotes a straight line between two variables. For this study, we will be using simple linear regression model and multiple linear regression model. The simple linear model assesses the relationship between a dependent and one independent variable, and the multiple linear denotes the relationship between a dependent variable and several other independent variables. As the study is heavily dependent on the multiple linear regression model, let's briefly look into its assumptions. MLR, or multiple linear regression, is dependent upon the linearity of the variables, multicollinearity where variables are not highly correlated to each other, homoscedasticity, and multivariate normality. Especially as shown in figure 2, a multiple regression model is generally accepted when the correlation coefficient is more than positive or negative 0.8 and the coefficient of determination is more than positive or negative 64%. MLR also has the benefits of determining the relative influence and identify outliers. So before we get into the calculations, let me give a brief overview about the company. Tea Lounge is Dilma's first food and beverage brand that was established in 2013 as an upscale tea room serving a variety of tea and tea-inspired snacks. Currently, it has 3 locations in the heart of Colombo and many more overseas as franchised operations. However, the demand focusing analysis will be based only on Sri Lankan operations. So for this, we identified 9 basic factors affecting the sales of online food delivery sales of tea lounges. There are customer reviews and ratings, internet or mobile phone penetration, new product additions to menu, GDP, inflation rate, the lending rate, number of advertising and promotions conducted, number of rainfall days in Colombo, and finally finished goods inventory level. Next, my colleague Rukshala will take you through the brief literature review.
Thank you, Bhagya. Let's focus on the review of our literature. First of all, gross domestic product. What is gross domestic product? Is a hospitality company's strategic decision would be based on an analysis of the economy's past, present, and future position. According to a study, there is a statistically significant positive association between restaurant sales and GDP. What is lending rate? AWPLR is a consumers tend to spend more when interest rates down, and business can expand more aggressively since financing costs are reduced. Thirdly, inflation rate. Inflation rate will change in some economic variables such as interest rate and inflation can have a large impact on a firm's strategic plans. Hospitality firms must build competitive strategic planning based on an awareness of future economic scenarios. Restaurants are adversely correlated with expected inflation rates. What is the number of rainfall days? Temperature, air quality, and rainfalls are among weather conditions that have an impact on takeaway orders. Finished good inventory level and the sales of a product have a considerable positive relationship. Furthermore, inventory is known to be a function of sales squad. Greater product diversity will result from increased inventory. Inventory management will be primary pillar, assessing in the timely diversity of required goods and services. As a result, it would improve sales performance. When we talk about internet mobile phone penetration, technology advancements that allow users to obtain, collect, and compare data have drawn more active clients to the platform. With the widespread use of mobile phones, the online food delivery services concept is one of the fastest growing. What is number of advertising and promotions? Sales promotion advertisement on social media have a tremendous appeal for customers and can have a significant impact on their behavioral intentions. New product additions to menu. What is that? Customers can order meals from available restaurants utilizing FOFD application and make more informed judgments based on information regarding the food, restaurants, deliveries, and post-order services. Finally, customer reviews and ratings. The number of reviews is the most essential component for sales volume in the food delivery platform in business. And it is positively related to sales according to our findings. Customers can utilize reviews from other users to help them choose food for online delivery services. I would like to hand over to Shehan to continue this presentation. Over to you, Shehan.
Thanks, Rukshala. Now let us take a look at the data set we plan on analyzing to identify the most workable regression model. The data presented in this table denotes the 9 independent variables starting from X1 to X9, which are GDP growth rate, lending rate, inflation rate, total rainfall days, finished goods inventory level, internet penetration, promotions and advertising, new product additions to menu, and reviews and ratings, while Y denotes the dependent variable of online delivery sales of Dilma Tea Lounge from period of Jan to December 2021. The sources of data gathered are also provided here. So in order to demonstrate the single linear regression model, we have analyzed the correlation of factor X2, which is a lending rate, with Y. As seen in this graph, it is a negative correlation of minus 0.78, which is less than 0.8, and a coefficient of determination of 62%, which is less than 64%. Hence, it demonstrates a weak relationship, which is not a workable and feasible model. So upon analyzing the data set, it could be concluded that a single linear regression model is not acceptable since none of the correlation coefficients are above 0.80, nor the coefficient of determinations are above 64% for the individual factors. Therefore, we would need to conduct a multiple regression by the ranking of the factors, by the significance of the coefficient of determinations, in order to do this. So 20 combinations will be analyzed to identify the best workable model. So moving on to the combinations we have tried out. The first combination is X2 and X7 with intercept. We have a R of 85%, a constant which is positive. Therefore, we could say that it is a workable model. However, we would need to carry out further analysis. The next combination is combination 3 of X2, X5, X7 with intercept. Again, an R of 91%, constant which is positive, and R has increased by 7%, while the error has reduced by 18% compared to combination 1. It is also a workable model. However, we will need to further analyze. Combination 5 is X3, X4, X7 with intercept, a coefficient of determination R, which is 86%, a constant which is negative. Therefore, for R has further reduced by 5%, while the error has increased by 25% compared to combination 3. Therefore, this is not a feasible and workable model. However, we will need to carry out further analysis. So the next combination is X3, X4, X7 without the intercept, the coefficient of determination or R of 98%, which is extremely high, and R has improved by 14%. However, the error has also reduced by 6% compared to combination 5. Therefore, it is considered a workable model. The next combination is combination 9, which is X7, X5, X9, and X8 with intercept, an R of again a high value of 73%, a constant which is positive. However, the R has reduced by 26% and the error has increased by 58% compared to the previous combination. However, we could still consider it as a workable model. The next combination is combination 11, which is X2, X7, X5, X6, and X4 with the intercept, a coefficient of determination which is greater than 64%, which is 93%, a constant which is positive, and the R has further increased by 28%, while the error has reduced by 45% compared to the previous combination of 9. Therefore, this is an extremely workable model. Our final combination is combination 13, which is X2, X7, X5, X6, X4, and X9 with the intercept, a coefficient of determination, which is 93%, and a constant, which is positive. Despite the unchanged R value compared to the previous combination, the error has marginally increased by 7%. Therefore, we could still consider it as a workable model. So moving on to summary of our 20 multiple regression combinations as depicted in this table, we believe that combination 3 is the most suited and workable model due to its high determination coefficient, positive constant, and the lowest overall error. While combination 11 could be considered the second best model. Combination 5 was excluded due to its negative constant that was obtained. So just to give you a summary of our findings, combination 3, as discussed earlier, has been selected as our most feasible model, where an R of 91%, which is greater than 64%, an intercept, which is a positive constant, and the lowest overall error amongst the 20 attempted combinations. Therefore, our most significant independent variables could be considered as the lending rate, which is X2, the promotions and advertising, which is X7, and the inventory level, which is X5. And the most suited and accurate equation that we have generated in order to forecast demand of online delivery sales of DMRT Lounge, considering the most influential factors, is given below. So we have also carried out a multiple regression analysis using the Minitab software, and we have arrived at the same findings. And we have found that the combination 3 was again the best suited model for this demand forecast. Finally, I would like to call upon Madhura to discuss our viewpoints and recommendations.
Thanks, Shan. Here we give our recommendation based on the developed demand forecasting model for T-Launch by Dilma. As the lending rate has negative correlation with sales, if it is on increasing trend, company shall focus on its expenses management. We recommend to invest to improve the service level if the lending rate is low. Increasing effective advertising and promotions will also improve the sales due to its positive correlation. Dilma can improve the inventory on finished product, enhancing product range due to its positive correlation to the sales as well. Next, we present our viewpoint on the exercise. We identified that accuracy of the output is heavily dependent on the input data. This historical data may be abnormal due to the influence of occurrences such as COVID-19 outbreak and Easter bomb attack. Next issue is the possible violation of the basic assumptions. This model assumes the independence of variables. If any selected variable has correlation with another variable, what we call as collinearity, it will have an impact on predictive power of such variables. In case selected data is not normal distributed, it's a violation of assumptions that will lead to accuracy drop of the model as well. We also identified that emergence of unidentified variables may affect the forecast. Go to go home campaign, scarcity of fuel and price hike, power cuts are few examples that may be having significant impact on the forecast model. We have also observed that when selecting the best model, variables that can be controlled by the company such as reviews and ratings, number of products have not come into the equation. In overall, demand forecasting plays a vital role in the decision making of the business. In competitive market conditions, there is a need to take correct decisions and make planning for future events related to the business. With that note, Group B7 conclude our presentation on demand forecasting. Thank you.